What it do, man? It's your boy Josh. We back up in this thing with another one. We woke up this morning. It's another beautiful day. All praise to the Most High, man. Let's get it, man. Man, I want to talk to y'all about reframing your past, man. When you thinking about your past, man, like I do, bro. And the reason why is because I found myself doing this where I was just reflecting on my past and looking at all the things that could have, would have, should have been done, bro. And sometimes I could be a little bit hard on myself, and I'm not using my path or using my past for what it's actually meant to be used for. I'm looking at my past and thinking filled with nothing but regret, filled with, being hard on myself and, setting unrealistic expectations on myself or unrealistic standards. And you sit there and ponder and think about how you can control or how you can change something that you don't have no control over, there's no possible way you can change, accepting that the past is this past and that you can learn from it, and that it's not the end all be all, and that there is more to experience, and there's greater out there, and there should be, hope for the future instead of, thoughts about the past. We should be putting more hope and more thought into the future about what can become as opposed to something that's already happened. And I'm making this video for somebody that's consistently, thinking that opportunity that's passed and it didn't go the way that they expected it to go, man. Stay on this video, man. I got 2 ways of how you should reframe your past so that you can move on and think more progressively in life, and so that you can become a better version of yourself. So the first thing I want to tell you, man, is that you're looking at this opportunity that's past that you may have not been ready for, or you squandered or something like that. It could be with a relationship, it could be with a job, it could be with whatever, you know what I'm saying? So the first thing I'm gonna tell you, man, is that you have to accept that you will never be perfect. I use this analogy all the time, is that every single time you get up to bat, ain't nobody batting 1,000. Ain't nobody getting a hit every single time they step up to the plate. You have to understand that you are not perfect. You are a human being. A part of the definition of, or a part of being a human being, is accepting that you will never be perfect, accepting that you will make mistakes, accepting that you will never have it all figured out, accepting that you just will not be perfect. There will be opportunities that come. There will be mistakes that have been made. There will be opportunities that weren't fully taken advantage of. Things that you can make a ton of different references, and you can sit there and ponder on it as to why, you messed up on this, and you can be so upset at yourself and angry with yourself, man, because you think that you have this unrealistic expectation that you have to be perfect. Part of the reason why you think you should have, or you have this expectation that you have to be perfect, is because you think that one opportunity that happened in the past is going to be the only opportunity. I'm going to let you know, man, there's going to be another opportunity. There is going to be another opportunity, but here's how you can address that next opportunity: is to accept that you will make mistakes. You may say something, you may do something that's wrong. You may make mistakes, and because you made a mistake in the past, you look at that, oh, that didn't work out because of my action. That didn't work out because of my mistake. And so you try to set this unrealistic expectation or this unrealistic standard that you're not allowed to make mistakes. Well, I'm gonna let you know right then, man, that opportunity that squandered, if that person or if that job opportunity or whatever is looking at that one mistake, man, that is not meant for you. It wasn't meant for you. Because whatever you want in your life, whatever you want to accept you into your life, is to accept that accept who you are, not some facade of something that you will never be. When you have this opportunity that's been presented to you, you want that opportunity to accept you for who you are, accept that you are going to make mistakes, accept that you are human. And if somebody looks at your mistakes and looks at what all the things that you've done wrong and uses that as a way to define who you are, that's not who you want to be with. That's not the opportunities that we want to seize. Those are not the interactions and the relationships we want to be in. We don't want to be in a scenario where we are defined by our mistakes, defined by our wrongdoings, because that'll always be with us. That is something that'll never go away. As wise as you become, as much knowledge as you gain, things of that nature, regardless of how better you become, you will always be susceptible of making a mistake. Between now until the time you die, you can guarantee it. I can almost I could put every penny that I got in my bank account, that you will make a mistake. You have to accept that reality as well. And what you have to accept is that you don't want to be associated or be in an opportunity where somebody's going to look at your mistakes and say, you know what, you made this mistake. That's who you are. These are your flaws. That's what you are. I don't want nothing to do with that. No, we want to be accepted by people and opportunities and situations. We want to be accepted for who we are. And that is also making the mistakes, our shortcomings, the things that our imperfections. We want people to love us for who we are. We don't want people to look at our mistakes and judge us for, what we didn't know at that time. We want somebody to show us grace. We want opportunities to show us grace, show us favor. See that we will never be perfect, but still love us for who we are. That's who I want. That's the opportunities that I want you to be around. I don't want you to sit there pondering and thinking like, oh man, if I was just perfect, then this could have happened. No, I want you to be who you are. Embrace who you are. Embrace your individuality. Embrace your flaws. Embrace your imperfectness, your imperfections. And I want that person that you want to associate yourself with, that opportunity to accept that who you are. Jimmy Butler, just for example, he has some imperfections. You can look at his situation. Jimmy Butler is a basketball player that has been in a lot of drama and a lot of gossip and a lot of turmoil this year because of his imperfections. Oh, he's not easy to get along with. Oh, he's having issues with this. He's having issues with that. Whenever he doesn't have his way, he's this way or he's that way. Jimmy Butler, if I was Jimmy Butler, I would look at myself and say, man, I know I'm not perfect and I know there's some things that I need to work on. And I know that there's an opportunity for me to be better. But who is going to accept me for my flaws? Who's going to accept me for knowing who I am, knowing my shortcomings, and not sit there and judge me or sit there and shun me away, but accept me who I am and also help me grow, help me become a better version of myself, somebody that believes in me, not somebody that has an unrealistic expectation or unrealistic standard of wanting me to be this way, wanting me to be perfect. No, I want to be embraced by somebody who knows that I'm not perfect, but is willing to sacrifice or willing to be patient with me because they understand that I will never be perfect. And that's also what I want you guys to do whenever you guys are, looking to accept people or looking to associate yourself with people, is to understand that people are going to make mistakes. A part of being a humble human being. I said it in my previous videos before about the most attractive trait. The most attractive trait is being a humble person. And being a humble person comes with some sort of grace towards others. Understanding that, being a humble person is knowing that you will never be perfect, knowing that you will never know everything, knowing that some people may struggle with different things. They may, whatever their weaknesses may be, that may be your strength, and that you don't take that as a pride or you don't take arrogance in that fact, but you realize that, man, they're weak in this area. I can possibly help them in this scenario. I can be their strength. I can be their guide. And then in return, as you become, you're a humble person, that you have weaknesses. You look at this person and say, this person may know exactly what I'm struggling with, and they can possibly help me. My weaknesses can be their strengths, and we can help each other, and we can get at each other, and we can bring the best out of each other and push each other to be the best opportunity of ourselves. That's how we need to look at our past. We don't need to look at these opportunities that have been past, these things that have happened in the past, and set some unrealistic expectation that we needed to be perfect, thinking that we weren't good enough. You will never be good enough. You are who you are. I want you to be a humble person, understanding that you will never be good enough, and that you want to take advantage of the opportunities that are going to accept you for who you are. Mistakes, flaws, and all. So that's my first point. The second point, I'll be real quick, man, is the second point, man. I think it's Isaac Newton's third law, man, where I'm just shooting off my knowledge. I didn't have it written down, but I just thought of this, is that every action has a opposite and equal reaction. And I should look this up, and I should have thought of this before I made this video, but I do know that for every action, there's a reaction. And so whenever you think about your past, that was the action. That is not what we should be putting our stock into. That's not what we should be paying attention to, because that action was only made just so the reaction could happen. God will allow certain things to come into our lives that may be deemed as negative, but he lets those actions come against us, not just so that it's all about the action, not so that we can just suffer, but for the reaction, what we do in return. God says, okay, I'm going to allow you to struggle with pornography. I'm going to allow you to struggle with finances. I'm going to allow you to struggle emotionally. And I'm going to allow you to struggle in whatever field it may be so that you can cultivate a reaction. I'm going to put you down so that you can climb up, so that you can grow. It's not about the action. It's about the reaction. That thing that happened in your life, it had to happen, not just for the sake of you suffering, but for the reaction. What you would do in return. Okay, this is what happened. This is the version of myself that I have to become in order to defeat this. God will allow certain things to happen into your life because he loves to see the version that you will become. Okay, this happened to Josh. I'm going to let it happen to Josh because I love that it makes Josh a more humble person. I love that it made Josh a stronger, wiser person. I love that it made Josh become more disciplined. I love that it made Josh have more faith in me. I love the version that it made Josh become. So I'm going to let this negative action, I'm going to let this opportunity, I'm going to let this rejection, I'm going to let this failure attack him, not for the sake of him being put down, but because of the reaction. So therefore, the past, what had happened that was done wrong to you, the rejections, the failures, they had to happen so that the reaction can happen. Say you're playing basketball, you drive into the lane and you see this big, tall guy sitting in the lane waiting for you. In the first quarter, he blocks your shot. Okay, I keep shooting a layup. Second quarter, you go in for the layup again. He blocks again. The third quarter, he blocks it again. And then to the point where you realize that that negative thing that's been happening to you is so that you can learn, so that you can realize that I needed to do something different. Oh, I can't be the guy that continues to go for the layup. Here we are in the fourth quarter where the opportunities are even bigger and the moments matter even more. Where the shot that I taken out in the fourth quarter when the game is on the line, this matters more. It doesn't matter. The shots and the rejections and the failures that happened in the first quarter at the beginning, they happened so that I can learn whenever the time was winding down to that, and that when my team needed me to actually make a shot. So I've learned in the first quarter, the second quarter, and the third quarter to not continue to go in here and do this layup with this defender right here. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull up. I'm going to shoot this jump shot. I'm not going to go all the way. And I shoot that jump shot and I make that jump shot. I don't put myself in the same position again that I learned about earlier in the game. But when the game really matters, when I've learned, and whenever my team really needs me to make a shot, I can deliver because of the actions that occurred in the past, because of the rejections, because of the failures that happened in the past. It's not about how you start, fellas. In the part of starting, that's the learning phase. How many of y'all have heard that phase of, man, I wish I learned this earlier. I wish I knew this at the beginning. You right now are in your journey where you're at the beginning. It's not the end. See, you have to tell yourself that opportunity that's passed is only the beginning. That opportunity that was squandered, that opportunity where you failed at, that you were rejected, was only the beginning. Only so that you can learn. Only so that you can become a better version of yourself. Only so that you can realize that where you can be better at. So that way, when you're faced with those same opportunities later on, I've been here before. I understand it now. Okay, I know exactly what needs to be done now. I've learned in the past. We need to stop allowing ourselves to think that opportunity that didn't happen the way we thought it was happening is going to be the end all be all, when that's not the case at all. That was only the beginning. That was only the first of many. There's more to come. And so therefore, we shouldn't be focusing on what's already passed. We shouldn't be focused on the beginning. We should be focused on where we're heading, focused on when the game is on the line, focused on when we get to the fourth quarter. Are we going to be ready then? Not trying to change something that's already happened, not trying to change something that's already out of our control, not try to change something that was just inevitable. Like I said, it's human nature. You're never going to be perfect. You're never going to bat 1,000. Look at your past, reference it as if you're looking through a textbook, trying to learn the answers. You know, when you're trying to study for an exam, you're trying to study for the test, that wisdom, that experience, it should be piling up of all the wisdom and all the experiences and all the things that you've learned, the knowledge. The knowledge comes from the experience in the past. So that way, when you go to get in the future, when you're tested, you know exactly what to reference. Okay, when I was in this opportunity, when I was in this position earlier, I did this. This is what needs to happen. This is what I've learned from my past. This is what I've learned from my mistakes. You will make mistakes. It's crazy. As humans, man, we will make mistakes so that we can learn from it, so that we can be better. You'll have to first experience a setback. You'll have to experience an action so that the reaction can be made. The reaction, the person who you are soon to become will not have cultivated or manifested unless that action had taken place. It's not the end all be all. There's more to live, bro. There's more opportunities out there. I'm telling you, let's get it, man. Let's get after it. Reframe your past. Your past is not meant to hurt you. You shouldn't be looking back at your past filled with pain. You should be looking back at your past and looking back for wisdom, looking back for knowledge, looking back for answers. Oh, when I was in that situation, this is what I did wrong. So let me not do that again. Let me become a better version of myself to prevent myself from making that same mistake again. That's how we need to be using our past. So that's all I have for y'all boys, man. If y'all need a consultation, y'all want to talk to me one-on-one, you can do so. Click the link down below in the description. If you guys need a training program, want to start your fitness journey today, you guys can do so. Click the link down below in the description. Go ahead and buy my 12-week training program. And then also, if you guys want to reach out to me, I'm very accessible through Instagram. If you guys got any comments, questions, concerns, man, send me a DM. Link down below in the description. With that being said, before y'all go, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share the video. I'ma holla at y'all boys.